Hey, what's good, everybody? It's me, your hero, Benjamin Banks, and you're watching Leveling Up with Benjamin Banks. And joining me, as always, are my co-hosts from the Leveling Up with Benjamin Banks podcast, Rebellious D and Double OT, Terrific Trav. How you fellas doing today?
I want to point at myself, too.
Ready to rock, man.
Hey, well, when you're the number one hero,
So you can do that, all right?
You can do that, Trav. Well, Trav, technically, you are the number one hero.
I'm the number one hero now.
I retired,
right.
So somebody... I had to take over, and then D.
Hey, hero in the garden. I'm here.
But we are doing a review for anime that is on Netflix right now, which is called Vampire in the Garden. And we had to do this review, right? We had to bring back one of our former guests that we had up here on Leveling Up with Benjamin Banks. He's an awesome guy. He's a voice actor, and he is in Vampire in the Garden, and that is himself. Mr. Connor Fogarty. Connor, how you doing today?
Rise. Hey guys, good to see you again.
Looking stoic as always.
I love
that
smile.
Yeah. Stoic as always. Someone recently was like, "You look depressed." I'm like, "That's just my face."
That's just
Hey,
my
just
kind of gives me Riddler vibes.
Yeah,
I was thinking more like a Jim Gaffigan.
Connor, just tell people what I always say. Whenever somebody says I look depressed, just say I'm tired. That's all you gotta say.
Yeah. Or they'll just tell you you look tired, and you're like, "Oh, I got a good night's sleep the other night," and
guys,
you just
tired.
like, "Oh, maybe I just look
I'm tired."
I look like an aging teen.
Yeah.
I just turned 28. Yeah, and I'm an aging teen.
Hey, you getting up there? You getting close to us? You'll be in the
you got it.
I'll never quite get there, though. That's the tragedy.
Look, if you become a vampire in the garden, then you won't get there.
Yeah, no,
Sure.
if I'm a vampire in the mountains, you still kind of get a little moldy. With vampire in the garden, you get that nice kind of mature, distinguished, but youthful look going.
I think that's a song title
that,
right
that
there.
sounds like something
Vampires
from
in the Mountains.
Twilight, though. Like you out there fighting against wolves and stuff.
I was thinking more like Underworld because they're up in the mountains. Up there in that movie, they got a little tractor trailer battle up in the mountains.
I think they were talking about when they made it. It's kind of like it's obviously like a fictionalized world because vampires don't exist to my knowledge, but it's kind of like a Soviet kind of vibe. The setting, it seems like it's kind of Russia. Or like maybe like I don't know, Poland or it's very Eastern European.
Yeah, for sure.
Got the Superman Red Sun vibe.
Yeah, I could totally see that. So before we get into today's review, one thing, make sure that you check out Connor's interview. It is up here on the channel, or you can listen to it on our podcast. Make sure that you subscribe to the channel, and you hit that bell button so that way you're always notified when we have new content here on Leveling Up with Benjamin Banks. And D, like you say every time,
as always, podcast episodes found in the description. Like, follow, subscribe to the channel. And if your hometown's ever split in half and you see the like button on the other side of it and it's flying around and doing crazy stuff, click it before it clicks you.
That's right.
I like that. So
I had to think quick, man.
Hey, that's what you got to do, man, because it's either you gonna slide or you gonna miss.
One of the two.
Is that a tie-in?
It's a tie-in. That's all we do is tie-ins.
That's all we do.
Oh, I know. I've talked to you guys, and I'm still a regular listener. So believe me, I know
we appreciate it.
On to the callback.
That's pretty cool.
We're
a little witty, like Wit Studios.
Yeah, man, we try to keep it live.
There we go.
Yeah, that's what we try to do here, man. Hey, we don't like talking about nobody. We like to keep it positive, and we like to keep it PG.
Family.
We family, man. And I still, Connor, I know I still owe you some breadsticks, man. I'm sorry.
It's okay.
They'll get to you.
Sticks, t-shirts.
The neighbor dog was munching on them before I could get to them. Yeah.
So let's go ahead and get into this review. So, Vampire in the Garden. I remember when you had made a post about it, Connor, saying that you were going to be in this anime and you were going to be voicing Kubo. And Trav was making posts about it as well, saying like, yo, I'm hyped. Connor's in this. I'm going to check it out. And then Trav, he checked it out. And then after that, I was just like, okay, I'm going to check it out. And I really enjoyed it, man. I loved the vibes that I was getting. Trav already mentioned earlier, like Underworld vibes, because it's like you have the vampires and the lichens, but in this case, you have the humans and the vampires. I was also getting Daybreaker vibes. I don't know. So y'all seen that movie? And then D, what was the other one that we had mentioned where it's like this as well, where you have two different species of people, and like they're just trying to come together and unify. Like they don't want to fight.
I'm trying to think. I mean, you nailed the two main comparisons. I think Daybreakers and Underworld.
Yeah,
I do feel like there was another one that we were talking about. Twilight is, I mean, basically, but it's like werewolves.
We don't talk about Twilight. We don't bring up Twilight.
Twilight could have been better than what they portrayed it as. I'll say that much.
No, I see where you're coming from there, though, D. Like, I mean, it is like
it could have been better than what
factions,
it was.
And then the protagonists are like kind of, well, are they caught in the middle? Like they're
because they
like
do.
Romeo and Juliet.
I guess you could say that too.
Right.
Yeah.
Which that's part of the story in Vampire.
Correct. Because the Valtori find out that they have the abilities that they want to add to their collection, and then it's like they're stuck. Mm-hmm. So but it's I mean I really like Vampire in the Garden. Thanks, keep driving.
Yeah, no, it was a really good anime. It's only 5 episodes. It's on Netflix. Yeah. And before we dive a little bit into the series, like Connor, how was it when you found out about this series? Like, did your agent let you know about it, or was this okay? And let's just talk about that for a bit. Like, what was your thought process going into all of this?
So I got an audition. Sometimes you get auditions for individual characters, and sometimes you get a packet. In this case, I got both an audition for Kubo and an audition for Allegro through my agent. And Allegro, of course, for those who need a refresher, is the vampire brother of Fine.
Right.
And
Fine.
So I looked at both of those and I read both of those and I had a little blurb about what it's about. And I thought it seemed like an interesting kind of like, there was a lot of world building already kind of given to me with that information. Mm-hmm. And the two characters I thought were both interesting and were both kind of foils of each other in a way. Like they both serve a similar role on opposite sides of this war with the two main protagonists. Because that's skipping ahead, but Kubo is warning Momo about the dangers of vampires, and Allegro's warning Fine about the dangers of humans. And I remember reading both of those, and I read for both of those. I mean, reading about them, and I read for both of them. And I remember doing Allegro going, yeah, okay, I'm not getting this part, but okay. I'm like, I did what I could, but I think there's someone who'll probably do it better. Spoiler alert, there was Paul Castro Jr. who did an awesome job.
Absolutely.
And was super nice dude from my interactions with him. But Kubo, I remember reading and going like, oh God, I really like this part. Because it fit into stuff I had done before as an actor, but also it's a guy who's very, on paper, sure of himself, but it's really masking it's all this black and white vision is all it's just him trying to hold just himself from falling apart. Because the first thing I think I got in those sides, it talked about he was married to a woman who was turned into a vampire and he was forced to kill her. Spoilers, but I imagine everyone,
if you're watching this review, you already know what's going on.
Yeah, exactly. So that made it interesting from the get-go. So the first scene was literally the first scene where I'm kind of just wisecracking with my sister Nobara over the phone. The first scene that opens episode 2 where Kubo first speaks. And then the other sides I got was literally my final fight against Fine. So I got to see him being very calm and controlled and like a smart-ass wisecracker. I'm like, oh, this guy's fun. I like him. And I knew what I wanted him to sound like right from the get-go. And then seeing him basically fall apart and just like hold, like it's his last stand. It's the last stand possibly of his life. And for sure the last stand of kind of like his conception of this war. Right. And, his worldview basically. And it's like his niece who's the only thing he's kind of left fighting for, because he's just kind of he's just hunting vampires because that's all that's left of his life.
That he also hasn't seen in 16 years or whatever.
Yeah, because of his sister, like kind of pushing him away. I mean, you see like how she is by just you see how she treats Momo and whatnot. Like I don't want you to be where you are just because I'm your mom and whatnot. And then when she tries to give Momo a position and a better position in the military, it's like Momo's just like, hey, I'm running away, you know?
Yeah. But like I met with Kubo, I don't know what it was. I think it's just that the face he puts on, which is part of him, but he's a broken person. And I think that was appealing, and to be that tough guy, because in voiceover, I mean, you know, like I was saying, I look like an aging teen in real life, but in voiceover, I tend to voice more tough guys or authority figures. But to have that sort of kind of inner conflict, I'm like, okay, I think I can do this. And I was like, if I'm in this, I want to be Kubo. And then a couple weeks later, I learned I was Kubo.
Right.
And what's crazy is like when I was watching it, I was just like, man, like why does, because this was the first time I had saw Kubo, and I was just like, yo, like why does that sound like Matt Mercer? And I was just like, that's Connor. And I was just like, and I had hit Connor up. I was just like, yeah, man, like you do a really good Matt Mercer impression, man.
Very similar, actually.
I could be a good poor man's Matt Mercer. Well, I think I mentioned last time for Shin Megami, when that was coming out, the trailers were out. My character speaks, but I couldn't say it was me.
Right.
So people were arguing if it was Matthew Mercer or Ray Chase.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, okay, I'm glad they're not just like, wow, they got some guy off the street to.
Nah, you're good, man.
I was just like, you know, it's just like, okay, well, that's good. I'll take that. But I mean, those guys are awesome, and it's like, you know, I owe them my own inspiration and stuff, and you know, the generic baritone kind of tough guy sort of thing. I suppose we all can fit into that sometimes. Not generic to their portrayals.
I cannot fit into the baritone tough guy.
Trav, you can do it, man. You just got to put on the voice.
I don't know if you've heard this voice, but then that's not happening.
Yeah, I'm gonna be real. Like Trav sounds the same when he's serious too. And it's it's like, okay.
I thought he's being dead serious right now.
That's right.
I've seen the way that Trav talks to his girls when they're in trouble, and he's just like, "Girls," and I was just like,
"Come on, girls."
But I mean, I really enjoyed the story here. I'm gonna admit, you know, I did cry at the end in the final episode when.
Me too. I was watching with my girlfriend and I. Yeah, we're watching it. We both were like, "Oh wow, this is."
It's really sad. It was very sad. Like with Momo and Fine, and you know, a part of me was hoping that she would turn back into a vampire and she would survive, but you already find out early on that it's just like once you take that vampire enhancement drug that you die afterwards. And you know,
I forgot about that.
So it's just like and then when you see that, you know, Fine, she was friends with somebody who looked like Momo when she was younger, and
it was also the same voice actress. Xanthi voiced both of those characters, which I thought was kind of a cool choice. Too. She's amazing. Well, I was excited because I've met her through like workshops and just, you know, interacting online. But you know, the pandemic, I kind of came into the scene kind of right before, so I didn't get a chance to meet people in person. But like, I was finishing up Persona 5, which obviously she's in as horror.
Congratulations too, because when we interviewed you, you had just got it.
Yeah, I think I just like beat Kamoshida's Palace or something like that. Yeah. So I was early in, but God, I spent so many hours playing that. Well, we all did to beat it. It's like 100 plus hours. But I was so excited. I was like, okay, cool. Xanthi's in it. And I heard Paul on like a podcast recently, because, you know, I listen to the VO podcast too, because I'm just a fanboy who snuck in. And so I was like, okay, he seems really cool. And I knew, you know, of Larissa for a long time. So I'm like, this is awesome. How did I sneak in? But like, Xanthi and Larissa did amazing in those scenes they had together, especially like that final scene they had together.
It was very sad, man. And I love that, you know, Momo had finally stood up to her mom at the end.
That was like the real kind of turning point, I think.
Yeah, and the mom, I was just like, well, are you gonna shoot her or not? I mean, like you said, screaming at, and it's crazy because, you know, growing up, like instead of the gun, it would be the belt, and my mom would be screaming at me. Like it's just like, if my mom told me to stop, and I was walking, like my mom would have came after me. So you know, more power to Momo, and just walking away and saying, hey, I know what I need to do now. You are part of my life. I don't need you anymore. And she grew up over that time just by spending the time with Fine. And
yeah,
I love that we get the after credits where it shows that humans and vampires are living together now. And it was Go ahead, Connor.
Oh, I was just gonna say, like, you're bringing that up in this, like, Nobara especially, and at the end how that succeeds. It was really funny for me as an actor because I'm just doing Kubo scenes. I don't see anything else. I am thinking all from his perspective when I'm acting the part. But I'm like, oh, Nobara is the villain.
Yeah.
I mean, there's other villains in it too. Obviously, whatever the girl that Eden who's like enslaving those vampires.
Yeah. That was a cool.
She's bad news.
Deviation. I like that whole village arc that we got. Quote unquote.
That seemed kind of like, it was like, ooh, it's some like little Finnish.
I knew it was fishy as soon as they got there. I knew something fishy was up.
Trav said he was on to him from the start.
That's right.
But like, oh, go ahead.
No. Yeah, you finish.
I was just saying, like, so from my perspective, I was like, oh, the vampires are bad. And I'm just trying to save my niece who's being bamboozled. Yeah. And I acted it that way because, well, one, that's kind of my job. And two, that's kind of just what I saw. Like when you're doing pre-layer of video game, they basically, okay, so you're part of this and you want to destroy the world or, whatever you're being directed. But when you're literally watching the scenes and you're dubbing, you're just seeing from your character's perspective.
Yeah, exactly.
So it was really kind of, even though I think I knew, especially like in that final scene where I'm like going berserk and Fine's, literally going berserk, realizing, oh, I'm not in the right here after all. And then to see it all play out watching the anime, my girlfriend and I watching it, and we're both like, I think Fine is my favorite character. We both said that. I'm like, that's my enemy in this. But it's like, oh, no, they're really just trying to escape the war and the conflict that people outside of them are pushing them. They're trying to pit them against each other. So it was really cool to kind of see at the end, oh, my character was wrong. And I'm glad he was, because I liked that kind of distant outcome.
Yeah. Well, there were parts in it where I felt like he kind of knew, like when I think it was either episode 2 or episode 3, where he finds Fine and Momo, and it's like he could have took Fine out, but he didn't. You know what I'm saying? So it's just like, I just think that he knew, but then it's like in the end, it's just like, okay, Momo, it's time to stop playing games now. It's time to get you home.
He pulls a gun on her.
Yeah, that was wild too.
That was wild. That was an intense.
That's how how we're introduced to him is wild. At the end of episode 1.
Oh yeah, and I didn't know about that scene because
because you actually don't voice it.
Kyle McCarley, who directed me, he's like, oh yeah, you're at the very end of the scene, but and then I just see the scene where it just like that he chops the head off like that.
Yeah, that was awesome.
But I'm like, I'm doing the Leo DiCaprio. My girlfriend next to me. That's me.
That's me.
I don't talk yet, but that's me.
But we've been rambling on, man, and
I know. Hey, I'm just chilling. I mean, I did a lot of talking on our discussion, so I was just kind of hanging back, man. Connor, first off, hats off to you, good sir. But the show is, as far as I'm concerned, I like a show where it's not very black and white, if you will. Situations that get muddy make it a lot easier. Like everything can't be like Fire Emblem. You know what I'm saying? You know who's good and who's bad in those games. Right. But in a lot of shows, I think that's what adds the depth. Then you get into character development and stuff like that, and like the dynamic characters that change regardless of whatever reason. And I thought this was a great premise for just having like the vampires versus humans. Something that we've all seen over our lifetimes in different ways. Different medias, and the characters are just sick, man. So I mean, I was on board. I love things that go bump in the night anyways, so it's kind of my go-to, with the horror movie stuff. So
hey,
hats off. Is that good enough, Captain? Oh yeah, go ahead.
That's good enough.
And y'all making me feel some type of way.
What do you mean?
I cried in 4 of the 5 episodes, and y'all over here talking.
It was intense from Jump Street.
I
I didn't cry in the first one because I wasn't there to pull at your heartstrings.
Because she lost her friend in the first episode.
Yeah, that was sad.
Oh yeah, no, that was probably one of the saddest ones.
That was sad, and then also too, when Momo's in the room with the vampire, and it's like she's just a kid. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And they come up in the room and they end up killing her, and it's like you feel for that because everybody isn't good guy, bad guy. At the end of the day,
exactly.
It's a war that's going on.
Correct.
And it's like you have to do what you have to do. But at the same time, it's like if nobody else would have came in that room or that vampire didn't try to get Momo, then it's just like that little kid would have never died. But unfortunately, that's what happened.
When it comes to war stuff, they always say it just depends on which side you're standing on. Who's the villain and who's the good guy? So who's the hero? Who's the villain? So
I agree.
I think that especially was really striking to me watching it and seeing like the opening scene with Fine, seeing the vampires all like dancing and listening to music and having a good time. And that's probably the average vampire citizen is just like, they seem to have more of a fun life. They can listen to music for Pete's sake.
Right?
I
wanted
to. The humans have a very austere way of living, but like that scene, I don't remember the town's name, but when they stop in, Fine and Momo stop in that town that's like half human and half vampire.
Right?
That kind of DMZ in the middle of it, and I just remember Fine's talking about that town, and she shows like the humans on one side and the vampires on the other, and like they showed both sides of it, and they both were glowing in these colors. Like the vampires was red and the humans was this eerie green. I'm like, this seems so inhuman, but it's literally those like lights that you see that they use to fight
the northern lights and stuff
Yeah, well, they have those green light, like literally their windows are glowing green because they use those like
a Jennifer Lopez video.
Yeah, exactly. They wanted to go for the J-Lo, the countermeasures. And, but it's like, I think those lights are like to ward off vampires, but it's like literally their life is just like, we choose war, we choose survival, no music, we sleep with these like green lights kind of.
Yeah, it's like very boot campish.
Yeah, it's like, it's almost like, why don't you just join the vampires at that point? Like, who's really better than the other there?
I think I like the story too because you're dropped right in the middle of whatever's going on too. I like that too.
Yeah,
it's not like, go ahead.
No, I'm just thinking too, like about the whole town thing. It's very reminiscent of The Walking Dead when they get to that one town where it's just like they kept hearing the broadcast that, hey, come here, like there's food, there's water.
What, with the governor?
No, not the governor. No. It was the town with the cannibals.
Oh, okay.
It was all the traps.
It's been a while.
Yeah, it was all the traps, so that way that they could keep getting people, so that way they could eat them. Yeah, right. I mean, it was the same thing here. It was just like they were luring people here, so that way that they could use them as batteries. So that way that the town.
Oh yeah, the Eden place. Yeah,
the Eden. Yeah. So it was wild, man. But all in all, I enjoyed all of the episodes. And to piggyback off of something that you two said, Connor, about when we see the vampires and like they have like this lavish lifestyle and whatnot, but then when we get to the one village where they stay at the hotel room and you see that not all vampires have it good, it's like
that's true.
There's some vampires that are poor and they're on the same level as the humans, because when you look at the stuff that the humans are going through, it looks like they're going through it bad. They don't have it good like vampires have it,
Yeah, I mean, it's probably like I think they did a great job of portraying it like a real kind of war between two nations where maybe the higher ups have it out for each other, but the average citizens are just trying to scrape by.
Yep.
Maybe are not really made aware of what's going on.
Very World War II-ish.
Yeah, so many wars, and it's just like, it's just like they're trying to scrape by. And have you guys read the graphic novel Saga?
Mm-mm.
Oh yeah, it's that's by the same person that just did Why the Last Man.
Oh,
but yeah, they got Saga, and there's another one that they did too. But I've read the first Saga, and I know that it just came back too. They were on like a 2-year hiatus, and now
is the new one out?
I don't know if it's out yet, but it's coming back again. So.
Oh, that was so good. But it starts with, it's narrated by this girl who's like a combination of two. Her father's from like one planet and her mother's from another planet, or father's from a moon or something.
Right.
But they're warring species. It's like a Romeo and Juliet story, but it's like told from the perspective of like the little girl who is the child of them both. But it's, that story is told so many times, and this is one of them. But I liked this setting and application of it, and she does find it in the end when she kind of defies her mother, after ignoring my warnings, which were perhaps unfounded. But I liked, and now I'm just rambling. I liked that scene where they're staying in that place and Fine does get the urge to like suck her blood.
Yeah, absolutely.
And it's like, because it's complicated. Like, it's like
they're still vampires.
Biological. Yeah, she's still a vampire. Yeah. It's still part of her biological drive. But obviously she resists it. But
that's why she's so sick.
Yeah. But I mean, that's something that you see in like stories like this. I mean, like I know in Yu Yu Hakusho, where I can't remember his ancestor's name, but he stopped eating humans and he was dying because he wasn't.
Same with Blade. He had to get the special stuff.
Yeah. There's another anime that came out. I think I'm probably gonna butcher, but it's like Vampire Symphony or something like that.
Yeah. Yep.
I can't think. That's not it, but it's something similar to that. But same deal. Like two friends, one becomes a vampire, and he chooses not to. But basically, in that rendition of it, they just become like rabid. You know what I'm saying? It's
There's a Korean film called Thirst that came out in like 2009. That's a horror film that it's a vampire movie that's really about the disease of being a vampire and how difficult it is to resist those urges. And
everything I've heard, Korea just knows how to make.
Hey, when it comes to horror, Korea definitely knows what they're doing.
They don't play around.
But Trav, I wanted you to go ahead and share your thoughts on the series.
So, as soon as they dropped the trailer for this, unfortunately, we didn't get a dub trailer. We just got like a regular trailer. So I saw it in Japanese, obviously, but I was like, dude, that looks absolutely incredible. I love pretty much anything that Wit does, I'm in. I don't know why the Attack on Titan stuff, they deviated from Wit and went to somebody else.
Oh, it switched, right?
They switched for this last season that we keeps going on and on and on, but I don't know why.
5 of final season or whatever. Yeah.
So that's that. But everything Wit does, I love. I absolutely love. So I think you announced it, dude, like a week before it was coming out that you were gonna be in it. And I was like, oh, holy shit!
Oh, it was actually release day.
Oh, it was release day. I was like, holy shit, Connor's gonna be in this.
So I did have the English trailer out, and my voice is in it for like a second.
Oh, okay. So I never saw the English trailer, and honestly, I wasn't even gonna watch it in English until you announced it. So I watched it in English.
And we support our own, man.
I watched it in English. I was like, man, I gotta support Connor, man. And dude, so glad I did because the American cast is so good. Oh my god!
Except for me, but yeah, everyone else.
Take it easy, Connor.
Honestly, dude, I was just like, man, I remember watching you, and I was just like, Connor's so good. Like,
Trav.
I was, and it.
Hey, you got to add the pause in there, Trav. You was like, I remember watching
you don't want to say those things in front of the people. You know what I mean? Because it sounds like you're brown nosing them.
Yeah.
But
no.
But I was just like, man, everybody's really good though.
Yeah.
Like, everybody is really good. I can't pinpoint. I'm not like this person shined. Everybody shined in this anime. But of course,
it's so great to act off the few. You only act off like half of them because not everyone's recorded. But that was cool.
Yeah, and but it's NYAV Post, so of course I'm again.
Well, yeah, Stephanie knows what she's doing.
They're the best dubbing company. It's everything they do is with passion, and it's not just like, hey, we got to dub it. Not not to come at Funimation at all or anything like that, but
No,
I
I'm
just
not
feel like
coming after anyone.
Hey,
please.
now,
right.
just
No,
to
I
let
just feel like
everybody that's
sometimes
watching,
they do
hey,
so many
this is Trav's own
animes.
opinion. Just letting y'all
No,
know.
I'm just saying sometimes they do
The
so.
following is Trav's opinion. And Trav's
Yeah, this
opinion
is
alone.
hey,
No,
this
all
does not mirror love.
listen. No. This is all I'm saying is, and it's like that with any big company. Sometimes you have so much stuff to do that not everything can receive the attention that the other thing's getting. But
I feel you.
NYAV Post is very specific about what they're dubbing, and they just give 110% to every project they do is all I'm saying. So I've never seen a project from NYAV Post that wasn't 5-star voice acting.
Well, yeah, you hear
From
like
everybody.
well, I guess I'll take a proxy thanks because I guess I'm a part of one of those now. But like, well, if you hear like Stephanie Shea or Michael Sinner Nicholas, who kind of run things, talk about the projects, you go, okay, they are just passionate about it. It's not just a job to them, though they do their job very, very well.
Absolutely.
Like they really are trying to be like faithful to what the original idea is and know how to localize it and make it communicate to the Western audience. And I think they do an amazing job on that.
Yeah, every time.
100%, or like Trav said, 110%. So we're here at the end of the review, and now we got to go around. Connor, you can give your input if you would like, because you did watch the anime. But what is your final score for this? 1 out of 10. What would you give Vampire in the Garden?
I'll give it a 9 out of 10 because I'll give it one more if I knew for certain they're making 1 million seasons of it, so I can be in it. I'll hold off.
Damn good reason.
I feel
Just for
that,
that.
man.
Hell yeah.
Trav?
I would love to see a prequel, a Feeny and Feeny, as I like to say. I cannot think about Boy Meets World.
I know, I was
every time. Feeny. But I would love to see a prequel with Feeny and the other girl, and kind of, or even the beginning of the war. What started this?
Right.
How did vampires get here? Why are they beefing?
I want to see Kubo and his wife.
There's so much. I don't want to see anything after, to be honest with you. Because
I'm good, because it's kind of like
good with that being the ending, because it's just such a good ending. Let's not ruin it.
Maybe Momo just like is like kind of like living that town. It's just a slice of life anime. All of a sudden, she's going shopping and she runs into this weird guy. And then she's like at work, and she has to.
Everybody's
happy. Run
happy.
The office,
and there's music again, and now she can sing.
Yep.
No,
She's
but
a singer.
There's nothing original about the story, but there doesn't have to be. That doesn't mean that it can't be good, and it's still a really good story. And it really reminded me of one of my favorite animes that's always overlooked, is Wolf's Rain, where there's it's kind of the same thing, just replace the wolves with vampires, except in Wolf Rain, the wolves pretend to be humans so they can blend in, so they're not, judged and can live a normal life. But I gave this 4.5 stars on my letterbox, so I'm giving it a 9 out of 10 on here.
You could be. I see in your stories. You've got some brutal letterbox ratings sometimes too. So wow.
Hey, there's some brutally bad stuff out there, but
Ooh, I knew that was coming.
I will comment sometimes. I'm like, damn, you didn't like that one.
This is one I absolutely love, and I still can't find that damn ending song, and neither can anybody else on the internet, so I keep having to watch the YouTube ending video.
Which one? For Wolf's Rain?
No, I got the Wolf Strain. Stray, I got the Wolf Strain, bro. No, I'm talking about the ending song for Vampire in the Garden. That, you gotta
get at a minute.
Beautiful song that they have not released yet, and damn it, I need
Release the song.
Yeah, release Spotify.
I know.
I gave you 4.5 stars. Release it.
Hey, we got a very fast friend, so I'm sure that.
His name is Michael.
You mean we got very fast family?
True too. But D, what about you? Final thoughts, and what is your rating for the show?
I'm a rock with the I'm gonna go with 8 out of 10. I really liked it. I love the characters. It gave me a good balance of story, adventure, action, all that good stuff. As far as I could see a prequel going down better than a sequel. I just feel like it's a good short story, just like one of my favorites, Basilisk. You know what I'm saying? It's a short manga, short anime. I don't need any more. You know what I'm saying? I don't need any more, and I feel like this is in the same kind of like a Cowboy Bebop syndrome. Like I don't need no more. I don't need to see.
Can you imagine Cowboy Bebop like just keep going and going? Like
I mean,
what the hell would that be? Yeah.
Years later, Ed's got a grandson and talking about that one time they lived on a ship with these crazy.
They calling them Double D now. You know they looking for jawbreakers.
Jesus Christ. It's just some stuff doesn't need a sequel. Short and sweet is the way to go sometimes.
Yeah.
Well, piggyback off of that, D, before I say my review, because they just announced that there's going to be a Yu Yu Hakusho 2 OVAs coming out, and one of my friends that commented on the post was just like, I would be down for there to be a sequel to you. I was like, nah, there don't need to be no sequel to Yu Yu Hakusho.
You know what though? We got Yashahime, and I think Yashahime is incredible. So maybe there's a little bit of light at the end of that tunnel.
I don't know, man. I don't know, but
one thing I want to ask everybody before we get out of here is your thoughts on the upcoming Castlevania. We got a little snippet. Connor, did you watch any of the?
I still have to watch.
That's a good one. Okay,
yeah.
I highly recommend it. Yeah, it is.
Yeah,
highly recommend it.
The art is.
I don't know about you, Trav, but I thought the artwork.
It was really good.
It's a good bedtime show, Connor.
Connor, don't listen to this guy.
Don't listen to that guy.
No more talk about Castlevania.
Yeah, the brutal letterbox.
I give this show an 8 out of 10 as well. I really enjoyed it. I enjoyed the animation. I enjoyed the music. I enjoyed the story. It was never dull, from the first episode all the way to the last episode. It was good all across the board. And I give it an 8 out of 10. So if you've watched it, let us know what you thought about it in the comments. If you haven't watched it, I hope that we didn't spoil too much for you. And even if we did, still watch it because you'll still enjoy it.
Tell them, hey, Banks, you got to tell them. If you haven't seen it, go check it out. Come back. Your boys will be right here.
Yeah, that's right. There you
go. Check it out.
It would be smart to say that at the start of the review.
Well, why don't you flip it? Cut master.
It's just like,
I'll be like, I wish I knew that before.
Trav, tell me use the cut fruit and re-edit this thing. You know what I'm saying?
Cut fruit, but
I wonder how they're gonna do that in the live action.
It's about to be sweet though. You seen the casting?
Yeah.
Yeah, man, I
can't wait. The ships?
I can't wait. The sets.
I'm ready for it.
Wait, this is
One Piece.
The One Piece.
One Piece is getting a live action.
Yeah.
What?
I know.
Yeah, that looks really good.
Wait till you see the sets. The ships are absolutely. They bear no expenses.
Hey, but they did the same thing for Cowboy Bebop, and you saw what happened.
No, they did.
Are they getting Jamie Lee Curtis to be in it? Because did you guys know
that would be wild though.
That would be
why are you saying Jamie Lee Curtis?
Yeah, why are you saying that?
Well, because there was like a Comic-Con.
Oh,
yeah. And someone's like, oh, if there's some, what do you want to play? And I don't remember the exact question, but she said she wanted to play a certain character in One Piece. And the person were like, did you just say One Piece?
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
I don't
just
think
said it kind of nonchalantly. She's like, I want to be so-and-so. And I'll have to look up the video, but
she could play Zoro. She got the short hair.
I was gonna say Robin. Just give her the wig, man. She's skinny.
Now we already got a Robin.
Yeah, you're right. We already got a Zoro, so I guess we should. She could be top chopper.
Hey, the guy that playing Zoro is Banks's boy.
Who?
Who is
the guy? He was in the JoJo live action.
I don't know. He looks good as Zoro.
What you talking about? For real?
The guy that plays Zoro's in the JoJo live action.
Guys, I found who she wants to play.
Okay, who is?
What's the name?
Korea? I haven't seen One Piece. Sorry.
Huria?
Yeah.
That must be like a random character.
H-A?
It might be the old one of the.
She looks.
I don't think she's an admiral.
Looks old. She looks kind of scary, actually. Her smile.
Oh, is it Luffy's?
That
She's
name
got
like
is
a
call her
ringing a
scary
bell.
grandma
grin. She's
type.
got like a scary grin, and she wears like glasses that are kind of like on her forehead, or she. Has,
Oh
like,
no,
two
but me
pairs
and
of
D
glasses.
looking like some fake ass One Piece
Yeah,
fans
because it's
right
like
now.
Nah, man,
y'all
it's
should
a
know
lot
this.
of
Like,
it's a lot more characters than JoJo.
now,
Yeah,
Trav,
no.
he was Okuyasu in the Diamond is Unbreakable movie.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And then
you
I
know.
guess she's friends with the voice actor on One Piece, I guess. Maybe
Okay.
yeah.
Oh,
My
wow.
favorite character is Brina.
Mhm.
I'm all just reading this on.
Yeah. Is it Brenna or Brina
onesports.gg.
Banks?
It's
What's that?
Brenna. No,
No.
but yeah, also too, he's going to be
Chopper's
starred
mother.
in the Full Metal Alchemist
Yes.
live action movie.
Okay, I got it.
Oh yeah, I saw that too. Thanks.
Yeah, but anyway, yeah, we need to go and wrap this thing up. So, with that being said, Connor, thank you so much for joining us.
Yeah,
Hey,
absolutely.
Let everybody in
guys.
social media land know where they can find you at.
Oh, you can find me at Connor Fogarty VO on Twitter, Instagram, and a TikTok that I never post on, but I'm there. There's some just weird TikToks that I
Weird
have made,
TikToks.
but I've already said more about my TikTok than I ever planned to. But yes, you can find me at Connor Fogarty VO wherever you find people.
Sure. Don't
Hell yeah.
don't skip past, man. Tell them about the band, the music.
Oh yeah. Okay. Well, there's one song out. I've got a band, Idle Mind Brigade, and
Hell
you
yeah.
can find them at Idle Mind Brigade. Same area. It's not on TikTok yet, but we have a song out that came out.
It's good. Y'all
in
gotta
March.
listen.
And then back into Reams, and then we've got an EP coming real soon, and then I think another one that's gonna be pretty quickly following it. The band's expanding too. Spoilers.
That's right. There you go.
Hey,
So yeah, that's exciting stuff.
hey, I'm glad you shouted them out. I'm gonna have to listen to that song because I haven't heard it yet, and I can't wait.
You
to hear
haven't?
it.
I'm just kidding.
I haven't. I have not
What
heard
the
it yet.
hell? No, I'm
And
Banks
so
don't
now-
listen to music. You know, he listens to
I just listen
Just
to
listen
he
anime.
listens
to,
to the JoJo soundtrack
listen
and
to
works
it
out
over
in Four
and
Town.
look,
Over.
JoJo.
Four
Okay.
Town over and over, and I sing. Look, whenever me and D on the
Ooh.
phone, I always
Thanks.
sing Four Town to him.
Banks,
And
you
I
gotta
nod my
talk
head like
me
this.
off the ledge. So JoJo's is huge, right? I
Yes.
know you're a huge JoJo's fan. I'm
See where
still
he's going with this
slowly
track.
getting through the first season. Do I
Mm.
keep with it? Do I
Keep going.
every
Yeah, 'cause
season's important? Is that
It
true?
honestly only gets better because that
gets-
season
okay,
one is
that's
trash.
The first season
Yeah.
is the hardest
Sucks
one.
ass.
Yes.
It's not
It's
bad. I just
it's
think it's
not
still
bad.
introducing stuff, and I mean everyone does a great job in it, but it's like there's so much stuff. I'm like, wait, huh? And then I feel like the other ones you probably learn the rules of how the series works.
Well,
And,
I mean,
kinda
it's
changed
two
the
different
rules,
things.
too.
They
Yeah, right.
change up.
Yeah.
They change
Yeah.
If
up.
you're
It's a new
confused now,
cast.
you only get more confused
Yeah,
later.
because it's like at first, you have the hormone where they're
Yes,
using
that's
the
what I was gonna
abilities and
bring
whatnot.
up.
And then once they get to season 2,
Yeah, Hamon, yeah.
that's when they start using the
Yeah.
stands. And then it
Stands.
becomes like Pokemon because everybody has a different stand ability and. you
Well,
know,
I kind
all
of like
other-
that. I kind of
Yeah.
like that.
But you got to get through the first. You got to get through season
Connor,
1. You got to
If you
get.
if you like the stand stuff, man, I'll give you an anime that's a lot easier to watch, and it's
This
called
guy.
Shaman King.
Shaman.
So yeah,
Well,
I mean,
Shaman
ain't
King
none-
is a JoJo reference. I mean, like
Okay.
the creator, he's a JoJo
Nah.
man.
So
And
is
you
the
know what
Lost
else?
Boys. You
He
know?
knew what he wanted to do when he started the show too. That's what else.
And, well,
Oh,
hey,
snap.
hey,
I do-
Rocky
I-
knew what he wanted to do too, and Rocky's birthday just passed as well. So, and
Oh,
then
dope.
We gonna wrap this thing up.
Part
What's
9
going
is
on
gonna
here?
be
He
coming.
tried to defend JoJo.
Trav
I
gotta
didn't.
go.
What's going on here?
He
Yeah,
defended
but
JoJo.
But
I
Trav,
just
let
like
them know they
talking
can
to you
find you at the
guys.
social media land.
That's right. You can find me on the Instagram at ZK Audio. I am on the Twitter at TRAVIOSZK, where I'm also on Letterboxd ranking and rating my daily movie watches, just like this one right here. And D, you down there?
Hey
we gonna
man,
find you
first and foremost, the character that she wants to do is it's the lady that Chopper was with, way back
Oh.
when, like forever ago.
Yep, yeah,
dude.
yeah, I know what
wasn't-
you're talking about.
Yeah. So, anyways,
Oh,
I just wanted to clear that up. But that was like literally at what the fourth stop of the beginning of the show, something like that.
I mean,
You
I'm
got
on episode 600 and
Well, he got
or something like that.
Zoro, then they got Nami, then they got Usopp, then they
Yep.
got Sanchi, then they got Chopper.
And then they got Chopper.
Yeah, that's what I wouldn't have. Anyways, you can find me at rebellious_D23 at Instagram. JoJoGuy.com. And Banks, you're a JoJo guy, man, but you're our hero. Where can they find you?
You can find me at Harold Benjamin Banks at @KingBenji_Banks on Twitter and Instagram. You can find me on Facebook at Benjamin Banks. I should be the first person to pop up. If not, then I need to contact Mr. Zuckerberg. Thank you again, Connor, for joining us up here on the review.
My pleasure, guys. Anytime. Oh, hi.
And then there's Dee's little angel waving at us.
Something like that. Or Dean.
She's being nice right now. But make sure that you check out some more of our reviews that we have here on the channel, along with interviews, reaction videos, all that good stuff. The podcast, brand new episodes every Tuesday. The link is down below, and you can listen to Connor's episode, or you can watch the video up here. It is on YouTube. And with that being said, keep that pinky up, stay positive. We'll see you next time on Leveling Up with Benjamin Banks. Peace.
Thanks again, everybody, for watching another episode of Leveling Up with Benjamin Banks. Make sure you like, follow, subscribe to the channel. Podcast, we got that too. Make sure you give us a thumbs up and hit that bell for further episodes and notifications. Thanks a lot to our patrons. And if you don't mind, join the Patreon. We'll be having new specials coming up soon.